Alright, okay, so I am Vesper. What's up, guys? And I'm here with Killy, and we're going to be doing a little podcast episode because I simply just do not have the time to do a breakdown on Street Fighter 5. It'd be ridiculous, man, the amount of content. Anyways, what's up, Killy?
Nothing much. Doing good.
Killy's on Skype with me, and we're just going to talk about a bunch of stuff, pretty much everything that we've learned for Street Fighter 5 to this point, and me going to E3 and stuff like that. So, like, if I did a breakdown video, man, it would take me, oh my god, who knows how many hours just to make the video, and then the video itself would probably be over 40 hours long. Dude, there's no way, like, if I broke down every single normal attack from every character, that alone would be just absolutely ridiculous, man.
Floodgates opened on, like, what was it, Wednesday? Wednesday, Thursday? Something like that.
Yeah,
just
man,
the flood of info and videos is just crazy.
Yeah, so just so you guys know, this video is going to be really ghetto. It's just, I just need to get this video out so we can talk Street Fighter 5 on my channel, because I barely have any spare time right now. So just so you guys know, you can minimize this video. It's just going to be me talking. This is the entire video. You guys won't be missing anything if you're not actually watching it. So, yeah. Okay, so guess first off, I should talk about E3. So the reason I haven't uploaded content lately is because I just been trying to pull so many strings with so many things just to get to E3. Like I want to play Street Fighter 5 so badly, it's unreal, and I can't make it to CEO, and that was a huge letdown for me. And now that I know that Street Fighter 5 is playable at E3, I was like, oh my god. So I pulled some major strings at work. And then eventually I got the time off to go to LA, but then I didn't even have a pass for E3 yet. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even know if I can actually go, because it's not open to the public, in case you guys don't know that. So I had to get a pass, and I had to get a pass for you, Killy, so you can come with me.
Yeah.
And just know that it's just, yeah. So I want to personally thank Event Hubs for a pass and Capcom. And really appreciate that, so I can come down and actually play this game, not just do breakdowns of me watching other footage and judge it for myself. And then, like I said, so I was like, oh, okay, no problem. I can get back to my YouTube stuff and, you know, continue my Mortal Kombat stuff. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh wait, my passport is expired. So I had to renew my passport and get an emergency passport. I had to pay the premium, the iron price. I had to pay the iron price for an express passport, dude. Seriously, I was blowing so much cash, and I had to like change some stuff on my ID, and just to save a super long story short, it was a gong show, man. Just days and days of bullshit. And
it was a gong show, man. You remember Monday? You're like, hey, you want to come to E3 with me?
Oh, dude, it was crazy. It's crazy. So. And then booking the hotels and the flights and everything last second. Guys, I'll just save you the story, because I know you guys want to hear about Street Fighter 5. So just know that I am going to E3, and I will be able to play Street Fighter 5 next week. Yes. So, yeah, I guess we'll talk about some E3 stuff later in this video. This is going to be a long video. This will not be a quick video. I'll be sure not to say quick something in my title, because I know that pisses you guys off. Okay, so Street Fighter 5. I wrote down a little list here for you and me to talk about, Killy. And it's bullet point stuff first. And it's in no particular order. I just wrote down some random shit that we can talk about. And then we're going to talk about the mechanics of Street Fighter 5. And then we're going to talk about the characters. So let's just start with topic 1, which is taunts. So yes, there is taunts in Street Fighter 5. And to perform a taunt, you have to press all 3 punches and all 3 kicks at the same time. So all 6 buttons.
So basically, just roll your face on the joystick.
Yeah. This is worth talking about, because it's kind of funny, because, you know, they want to make the game more accessible, and, you know, everything's 2 buttons now. You know, 2 buttons for activating your V trigger, 2 buttons for a throw, 2 buttons for your V skill, all this shit, right? And it's all of a sudden it's like to do a taunt, like the most obscure, nothing to do with the game thing. It's like all 6 buttons. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like even supers in this game are just with 1 button now, and I don't know. It's funny. So I think it was worth.
They ran out of macros though. Like seriously, how? Because they don't want any overlaps, and I think every possible combination had some sort of overlap. So dude, it's like, Todd, just roll your face on the joystick.
I know, dude. Okay, I'm calling this right now. Daigo, he probably heard about the taunts, right? He's like, you know what? I need to make a macro button for this.
I need to add button up my joystick.
Add buttons to his stick just so he can taunt with 1 button. He's like, I need more macros. Seriously, honestly though, since this game is gonna be on PS4 and PC, I would assume that they're just gonna put it to the touchpad. Taunt would be the touchpad, but yeah. I would rather not than put anything to the touchpad, or obviously be able to turn it off, because that touchpad is super fucking sensitive. I don't know if you guys know, but when I play MK and I'm playing like King of the Hill or something, I press that damn thing all the time. It's so annoying, dude. I don't understand. Like, maybe I got like super fat fingers or something. I don't know. I hit that thing all the time and I drop combos like crazy. So yeah, taunts. Next topic is mediums and hards are the only thing that do chip damage. Or this is specifically the grade damage, so the recoverable damage or whatever. Yeah. So you guys remember that when your characters block, you take grade damage. And before in the footage, when I was doing the breakdowns and stuff, it was on all normal attacks, so lights, mediums, hards. So now I noticed that it's only mediums and hards now that do that recoverable damage. So what do you think about that?
I think that makes sense. Otherwise, certain characters with fast jabs or shorts, they'd just be mashing that on you. And then you'd be taking all this crazy chip damage.
And the hit stop is huge in this game too. You notice that? There's a lot of hit stop.
Yeah, but I think the flow of the game, it works out okay. But a lot of people are complaining that the hit stop is too long for them for the.
I think they're running out of things to complain about. If we're getting to the point now where we're complaining about hit stops, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's getting to the point now where we're really complaining about a lot of stupid shit now. So, but it makes sense. I'm kind of happy that the chip grade damage thing is still in the game, because I feel it's important for more than one way to build up your V gauge, because I want to reward some type of defensive play, and I think that because the fact that you take damage, grade damage, your V gauge is filling, right? And if your defense is really good, you recover that great health, and thus you gain V gauge meter for free for your defense.
Yeah. So
I like that idea that you can reward people for good defensive play.
It also speeds the pacing of the match.
It's not like you can. I just don't like the idea of just rewarding someone for blocking with their face all day, and then they can activate the V trigger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Moving on. Okay. Focus attacks are now gone, and it means people have to learn the neutral game.
I love it. I love that change. Oh. I hate focus attacks so much.
I hate focus attacks too. There's been a lot of people that actually got into Street Fighter from Street Fighter 4. Street Fighter 4 was like this big fighting game revolution where it got all the old school and new school players into this. And because of that, focus attack is kind of like the pioneer mechanic in the game. You know what I mean? Because it's like we've been through so many revisions of Street Fighter 4, and then even in Ultra they gave us red focus attacks. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so having the game without it is really gonna change the neutral game big time. You know what I mean? Like,
from the comparison of SF4, it changes the neutral game, but really this reverts back to the old days where you didn't have that tool. We played neutral like normal.
Yeah, for sure. Because like focus attacks on paper, it sounds like a really cool mechanic. Like, I remember before Street Fighter 4 even came out, it sounded really cool to me. The idea of charging up and pressuring the opponent to react to it, to make an action, to jump away, or to that he can't block it if it's fully charged. It was like a game of chicken. I thought it was cool. And the idea that certain special attacks break the focus, I thought that was really cool too. Like, it's really clever, but it just doesn't work the way you would think it'd work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead, it was more of a way of, I guess, fishing. It's kind of like playing paper, rock, scissors with someone, and they're allowed to cancel out whatever they chose when you revealed your action. You know what I mean? Because you can backdash out of attacks, and you know what I mean. You can choose how long you want to hold it for the charge. And like I said, it destroys the neutral game, because if someone's playing a strong footsie game with you and they're poking you with attacks and stuff, every now and then they're going to squeeze out of focus and you're going to get hit, and then you're going to eat a fat combo, full punish. And it's really frustrating, because the footsie game alone, there's a lot of things that you have to pay attention to. Is the opponent going to jump in on you? Is the opponent going to walk up to you and throw you? There's so many things into it, and then adding focus attacks into it it's just too much, man. It really deters you from wanting to play that kind of game. that footsie style game.
It added stuff to the neutral, but it also like undermined certain aspects of footsies, and that was really annoying. So I'm glad to see it go.
Yeah, for sure. I guess it's kind of parries kind of changed things too in third strike, but not as bad as focus attacks because parry is literally an anticipation. You know what I mean? Like you have to anticipate the attack coming out. Whereas the focus is you just hold it down and you just wait. You know what I mean? You get hit, you release kind of thing. But
there's its own risk reward, obviously, with the like 2-hit attacks and focus breakers and stuff. But I don't know, like I'm more accepting of parries than focus. Like parry was a very hard. I don't say hard, more of an advanced tactic to use. I know people who are really into third strike will counter argue some points with that, but I don't know. I'm more accepting of parries than I am of focus in the long run.
Yeah, like overall, focus attacks have some cool things that they add to the engine to the game, but to sacrifice a lot of the neutral game, I don't like it. So good riddance, focus attacks. Anything else you want to talk about?
It'll be interesting to see how like people who started with SF4 who are really used to focus attacks, how they're gonna have to sort of adapt to them being gone now.
I know, man. For reals, it's gonna be really hilarious too. You're gonna see a big difference, like in you can really see who the really good players are now without the focus. Seriously, some people get away with murder with that. So moving on, let's talk about throws apparently have a longer whiff animation, and you cannot crouch tech. I forgot where I got this quote from.
So I remember seeing this in an IGN video. It was like 13 things.
Yeah, it was written really poorly, but yeah, go ahead.
But basically, the guy said, "Oh, because there's whiff animation, there's no more option select throw tech." So assuming he meant crouch tech, I don't know how that necessarily works though. How is crouch tech gone? Is it like, because SF4 had throw whiff animations too. Doesn't mean that crouch tech was gone, right?
Anything with jab and short, yeah, it's gonna.
So I want to know whether if you try to do a crouch tech, do you get a throw whiff animation, or you don't get a throw attempt at all, like a throw tech at all? I don't know how they've coded the game to actually remove crouch teching from working.
How the hell did it work in third strike? When you did a crouch,
you had to stand to tech a throw.
So, but when I input light and short,
I don't remember honestly.
Does it kick come out?
I can't remember.
Is there a priority on that?
I
don't remember. But obviously, a throw whiff doesn't come out if you crouch. Obviously, so I would assume like a light punch or a short kick would come out for sure.
Probably. I'm assuming that like, in order to tech a throw in SF5, you have to be standing, just like pretty much every other fighter.
Yeah. In what's it called? I did a breakdown video before with Daigo and Gamerby, and I did see that crouch tech was in the game. It was in the game at one point for Street Fighter V. I clearly saw it. So maybe they took it out.
That or the person from IGN was wrong. Maybe we'll have to test that while at
yeah, definitely. We're gonna have to definitely test that.
But yeah, I say good riddance if it's gone. I hated crouch teching so much.
It seems like Capcom is like looking at all the bad things about Street Fighter 4, and they're just like making sure it's not in Street Fighter 5. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the whole crouch teching thing, the reason, in case you guys don't know why crouch teching is so bad, is because it's literally an option select. Probably one of the easiest option selects in the game. And it makes it so hard to open the opponent up. It's really important that throws are scary in any fighting game. It's really important because it adds a lot to the game to open people up. Otherwise, it's just going to be a block fest. And of course, you're happy that they don't have crouch techs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So right now, I'm assuming what it is just that you'll see if you do a crouch tech, it'll just be a light kick comes out, and then it won't tech the throw if the guy throws you. That's pretty much what I think it is. But in terms of longer throw with animations, I don't know. I don't think I noticed a difference.
Yeah, neither did I. It didn't look like it was that much longer, but who knows?
Yeah. And I did a breakdown video before too on, I saw that you get counter hit. If someone throw whiffs and you hit them, it's a counter hit. That's not in Street Fighter 4.
No.
I didn't really see the footage of that happening, so I don't know if you still get a counter hit from it. But that's really important because we got to test that too, man.
Yeah.
We got to add that to the list of things to test if you can counter hit someone.
I'm not sure about the throw range and stuff and how long to start, because throw startup in SF4 was fast. It was 3 frames. I'm not sure how it was in I can't remember the startup animation in other SF games, but I'm pretty sure they were a lot longer than that. So I'm kind of wondering what the startup of throws are in SF5.
Yeah, like I said, I want throws to be as dangerous as possible. That's the bottom line. It's a really important part of the game, whether people like throws or not. Okay. Oh, yeah. So there seems to be some close proximity attacks, and definitely neutral jumping attacks in Street Fighter V now. So before my breakdown videos, I realized that they only had 3 types of attacks. Just jumping, doesn't matter if it's neutral or jumping towards the opponent or behind or away. Standing normals. Even if you're right next to the opponent, it'll still be the same normal, and crouching normals. So I know for sure that Ryu, his standing roundhouse or standing hard kick, is different up close and different from far away. But I haven't seen any other examples. That's just from a glance. I haven't really like analyzed the footage, and I know for sure there's like Chun-Li, her neutral jumping hard kick is the same as Street Fighter 4. So it looks like Capcom is slowly adding normals to the game. It's very strange their process of adding stuff to the game. It's like they don't add all the normals, just like, you know what I mean, just little touches they're doing in every type of patch. I haven't, paid this much close attention to a game before in development. You know what I mean? In Street Fighter 4, it was just like, read magazines and stuff, but I never really watched it from, alpha to omega kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but also like most companies were never this transparent in the development process of the game. Like,
yes,
especially for a fighter.
Yes, that's definitely true. And yeah, I guess it's just the way the internet is now. It's almost impossible to keep a secret these days.
Yeah.
And it's just, yeah, it's really interesting seeing the development of Street Fighter 5 and just like whoa, you know what I mean? Like, whoa, they changed Ryu's crouching medium kick. It was different like 2 weeks ago. You know what I mean? Like, really small things. And,
I think it's smart on like Capcom and Sony's part to be so transparent with the development of SF5. Like, you can tell they're really focused on SF5. Like, there's definitely an agenda with this game.
Yes.
And making it successful. So
yes,
being very transparent with its development, I think it's a brilliant marketing plan on their part.
Mm-hmm. Like, Sony putting the money into this has been helping out Capcom a lot, and you can tell they have been influencing a lot of things with the development of the game. They have more money to advertise. You know what I mean? There has been dead news for a while, but this, after the embargo lifted, there's been so much information. It's crazy. The hype train for Street Fighter 5 is nuts. Like, it's absolutely insane.
But perfect timing. I mean, E3, right? Like, that's the perfect time to get the hype train going.
Yeah, man, for sure. I'm just adding a note because I remember there's something else to talk about here. But yeah, in terms of proximity normals, close proximity normals, I don't really care whether they have it in or if they have that alpha style thing that I was talking about before with the
command normals, basically.
Mm-hmm. There's definitely more command normals in the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, we haven't, like, the footage wise, they haven't talked about it. Like, they have wikis and stuff on IGN about all the moves, but they didn't put down the target combos and the command normals. That really pissed me off.
Most people haven't even talked about
the
EX versions of the specials too.
Yeah, exactly. They don't even talk about the EX. Yeah, the EX versions, what the special was. There's a lot of different stuff, right? Like Nash, for example, which we'll talk about in a bit here. But yeah, like, I don't, like, obviously they only had a couple of hours of time, but if it was me, I would have been like, what is this? What is this? I would have had a list ready to go, you know what I mean? Like, if I was, you know what I mean? If they set me down, man, shit. But yeah, that's information that I want to know. So yeah. So just so you know, guys, it looks like they're going back to Just like Street Fighter 4, 5 types of normals. So you guys will be happy we'll have our meaty attacks back and ready to go. Okay, so moving on, let's talk about what's on my list here.
Backdashes.
Backdash no longer invulnerable to attacks, but it's still throw invincible. Once again, we're getting back to the thing, taking stuff out of Street Fighter 4 that people don't like, and making sure it's not in Street Fighter 5.
Oh god, when I heard IGN say that backdashes are no longer strike invulnerable, it's a big smile on my face.
Grinch smile.
Grinch smile. Yo, frauds are going to get exposed. I love it.
Yeah, backdash, not really an option select, but it gets you out of too many situations, especially on wake up. It's funny that we had to come up, we as the community, not us personally, had to come up with option selects just to stop people from doing backdashes. That's pretty ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's so important to just, you know what I mean? You can't give too many options, especially on knockdown. Otherwise, it's hard to open people up, man, and it makes the game too slow.
Yeah.
You want to keep things aggressive. So, yeah, that's pretty crazy, man. Was there any other Street Fighter games where backdashing was invincible besides Street Fighter 4?
Not really. We didn't really backdash on wake up like fiends back in the old days.
Yeah, I know. Seriously, like, I remember Rose. I know.
Oh god.
I'm sorry for mentioning Rose, but she's such a good example of a character. But like, I was watching like Luffy, who he focused a red fireball and he backdashed, and then the red fireball, it's 2 hits, and then he focused the second hit and backdashed again off the same fireball. I'm just like, what the fuck? That has nothing to do with backdash and vulnerability, but it just makes me think about it for some reason. The backdashing in these fucking games, man. My favorite backdash by far is Third Strike. I think it's the coolest shit because it's really short distance and it's fast, man. Like, it's super fast and it looks cool. For like Ken, for example, when you backdash and then quickly dash back in and then throw the opponent, it feels so good. You know what I mean?
Because it's
it feels so good, man.
Like a deke, right? Like it's
yeah, exactly. That's exactly, and I love it, man. I wish we had that kind of backdash back into these games, but no invincible backdash. Like, you can still use it against throws, so that's cool too. So you can still use backdash on wake up if you anticipate your opponent throwing you. But if he does a meaty, you're going to get punched in the face pretty hard. And meaties are great because they allow more combo potential, and with the new counter hit system, it's going to be really good as well. Anything else you want to talk about for backdashing?
Nope, not really.
Okay. Show cross-up notification. Okay, so you can explain this one if you want, Killer.
So yeah, if you get hit by a cross-up, the game actually displays a visual notification that a cross-up occurred. It'll literally say cross-up. So it looks like they're adopting sort of ArcSys's system, like in BlazBlue or Guilty Gear, where if you got hit by an overhead or a low, there's like some sort of visual icon, like an exclamation, a colored exclamation mark, or a colored some sort of symbol to indicate that you got hit by a high or low. But now we have this for cross-ups. So this is going to help really help people figure out like how they got hit by a mix-up. So if we ever see ambiguous mix-ups, no longer do we have to question, it's like, was that cross-up? Was that not a cross-up? Like, it'll flat out say that was a cross-up.
Yeah, I always thought it was really cool on anime fighters. I don't that like when you get hit low and you didn't block low in time and you see the exclamation mark. I thought that was really cool because it exposes you, because you always like, I swear I blocked that. You know what I mean? And the game is telling you didn't. So I think that's a really cool addition to the game. Maybe they might add more notifications into the game, and I think it helps commentators out as well.
Yeah, I hope they have it for like high lows as well, just to show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely helps newer players on that. It's like, oh, how did I get hit? And then if they pay attention to the on-screen messages, like, oh, that was a overhead, or oh, I wasn't blocking low, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I wonder. I guess I wouldn't say that if say you juggle the opponent, you reset him in the air, and and you dash to the other side, I don't think it would show a notification. I think it has to be when they're in neutral and on the ground.
Now, granted, even now that it says cross up and stuff, I mean, that was a term that was created by the community. So for a new player, he's not going to know what the hell a cross up is. So I hope they properly explain that in the game. Like there's probably going to be an in-game tutorial, and I hope it properly explains.
Don't say the T word, please. Don't even say it. Yeah, at least they didn't call it neck kick. Like the old school Street Fighter 2 guys used to call it. But yeah, I guess it would also help people in training mode too, when they're trying to figure out their own setups and stuff. And they'll know flat out if it's a cross up, when they want to work on their Oki or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. Okay. You can only cancel your V trigger on contact. This is hit or block, and so this means that I don't know what the term is for canceling your V trigger after an attack, but I'm assuming it's going to be V cancel. So yeah, you can only do it when you're making contact. So in other words, if I'm Ryu, I can't just throw a fireball, cancel that into V trigger, and bait the opponent to jump over the fireball, and then I'll uppercut him. It doesn't work like that. The fireball actually has to hit the opponent, needs to block it, then I can cancel it. So this will limit some things basically with the game. You can't do certain things that we could do in Street Fighter 4 with the focus cancel system. Pretty much. What do you think about that?
I'm kind of iffy on this one. Obviously, the one thing that people have in mind being able to V-trigger on block is reversals. There's already video footage of Ryu going DP V-trigger, and I don't know if he's safe. It looked like he was safe, but the opponent didn't try to push offense at that point. So that's the thing. I always say if you reversal and they block it, it should be punishable.
Yeah.
So having that ability to cancel into safety is just a little bit.
Well, in Guilty Gear, if you try to Roman cancel, there'll be like an X on the screen or whatever.
You had the Roman cancel like as right away. Like basically, you have to commit to the Roman cancel. You can't just visually wait until you see them block it and then Roman cancel afterwards.
Like that's a huge problem in Street Fighter 4, man, because we got Akuma doing 2 hits on his uppercut. And you're literally able to confirm if it hits or not, and you need, spend the meter or not. Ken can do it too. Man, yeah, that's a huge issue. But I don't know. There's other things too, like Daigo playing Evil Ryu. He really abuses the fact that when you do crouching forward into Fireball, he can hit confirm that and convert that into a full combo.
Yeah,
that half your health is gone. You know what I mean? Like you could be the best player in the world, but eventually you're gonna get hit by a crouching medium kick, one way or the other. You know what I mean? So, it limits some of the gameplay in the game, but for a good reason. I think maybe before they had it, so you can V cancel anything, and maybe they're saying, "Oh, this is a little too like focus cancel, and we're gonna run into the same issues, right? With too much low risk, extremely high reward situations." For sure, but I like V cancel should be in the game too, because we really want to have these cool extended combos,
Nash does some really cool things with that V trigger stuff, so I like how Nash uses it, but there's some good and bad that comes with
it.
It
definitely adds a lot of opportunities. Also, we also have to consider the fact that you need your entire V gauge to blow it to use your V trigger. Focus attacks, you only need 2 bars.
Yeah.
So.
Granted, V-trigger is mostly 2 bars.
True. But you have to get your ass kicked, too, to get those 2 bars.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we can go back and forth on debate on it, whether we need it or not. But I'm happy it's in the game.
Yeah.
For sure. Okay. So next up, damage output is insane. The damage in Street Fighter 5 is absolutely insane. It is so high. It's crazy. I personally think it's too high, because all the footage we have that we've seen, the players playing are pretty, I wouldn't say terrible, I would say below average. at best. And we haven't seen any real decent combos. I think there's only 2 clips where we have some people that kind of know what they're doing. And I'll be sure to put that in the link in the description of this video so you guys can see, have an idea of what it looks like, the footage of people that know how to play. So what do you think about the damage? Like, how do you feel about this?
It's pretty ridiculously high. I think it might need to be toned down in the future. It's still a work in progress, so maybe it will be toned down. But I mean, as soon as people start figuring out better combos, I can't imagine what the damage output will be at that point. Nobody wants to lose like 70-80% health.
And we're going to find that out at E3 right away. You know what I mean? I was trying to see how the damage scaling looks. There was this one clip where someone gets hit a couple times and they get dizzy, and they get hit a couple times more, and the damage still looks
pretty high.
Pretty high, man. They've been taking a lot of hits, so it doesn't look like the scaling is as tough as it was in Street Fighter 4. Like I don't like the scaling being too high either. But, you gotta draw a line. Yeah. When someone's losing, almost half their health from jumping hard punch, standing hard punch into uppercut. You know what I mean? That's just crazy. I like the idea of single hits doing a lot of damage. I like the idea of throws doing a lot of damage. And I really like the idea of an uppercut anti-air doing a ton of damage. Telling your opponent, if you jump, you're taking a huge risk and you're going to lose a lot of health. I like that. But, these kind of games, we're going to come up with some crazy combos in this game. And, we don't, like you said, man, we don't want 80% damage combos, destroying people. And we're having 10-second rounds from one guy, making a mistake and getting stuffed on a jump in and just, losing all of his health,
Yeah.
So, honestly, I'm surprised, man. Like in the crazy alpha footage, when we first seen Street Fighter 5, the damage output, I'm like, there's no way they're going to keep the damage like this. But it seems like they did. They're going to keep trying to keep up with it. So, we'll see. I think after E3, we'll know for sure if that damage needs to be toned down. Because, yeah, it's crazy. So, let's talk about the stun bar that they added. How do you feel about this?
I love it. I like that put the stun bar back. It's a nice, counting stun for some characters. I don't know. I thought that was always dumb.
Counting stun.
Yeah, some people like to count stun.
It adds tension, and it's cool for the viewer to see the stun bar too. To see how close the person is to being stunned in the first place. That's pretty cool.
It definitely affects the thought process of the opponent too. Like both players, when they have the stun bar as a visual indicator, going oh, he's close to stun, and the other person's like, oh crap, I'm close to stun. Yeah. That kind of thing. You can sort of gauge it mentally in SF4 as well, but in Third Strike and stuff, having that visual indicator is really cool to have, and definitely I personally like having the stun bar there.
It has been requested, you know what I mean? So people do like it. I personally like it. I think it's cool. I don't like how it looks right now. Obviously it's a placeholder.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty sweet to have a stun bar. I know Mike Z hates the idea of people getting dizzied in the game, which is understandable because it doesn't really add much to a fighting game, seeing someone getting slaughtered and then getting slaughtered harder.
Yeah.
But it does add opportunities to do cool things like Ryu doing more stun on his attacks when his V trigger is up. Things like that adds some cool mechanics to the game. And just the idea of playing extra defensive or the opponent playing extra aggressive when the stun bar is high.
It's all dependent on how they implement it, right? I can understand Mike Zed's argument there for sure, but like you said, there is a pro to a stun mechanic, and it's all on how it's implemented. So I think the way SF5 is handling it is interesting enough to make it acceptable.
Yeah. Okay, I think we pretty much already talked about this, but I just left a note here that UI-wise, I really like the bars on the bottom, the V gauge and the critical art meter, CA meter. But I just don't like the HUD on the top. I think it looks ugly. Specifically the life bars. But the portraits on the corners of the screens look really cool.
Yes.
But this is not even worth talking about, but it's just a little thing I wrote down just because, I think they should change it up just a little bit. Even the timer kind of looks kind of whack.
Yeah, it looks a little bit unpolished. I hope they uh, play
Keep,
around with the UI
yeah.
just a little bit more, just to polish it up a little.
It does look clean. I like it when it looks clean. Like everything's just straight. Like remember in Cross Tekken where everything's just curvy and
Oh God,
blinking and flashing
it's
and
flashing.
shaking. It's just like
It's like a
holy shit.
dubstep video, man.
You're
Like,
getting hit and just colors just flying towards your face. Yeah, no, please don't do that. And then you play on that stage with the trucks and the lights and oh shit. It's just seriously, it's madness, man. It's a liquid rave. I don't know. That's crazy. So yeah. Anything else you want to talk about on the life bars?
no.
Okay. Everyone wakes up faster on knockdowns, even hard knockdowns. Yeah. Honestly, I don't know how I feel about this. I like the idea of the opponent being on the ground, or a way to put the opponent on the ground for a while so you can establish some type of Oki, some type of wake-up game. But even after a throw, the opponent can get up right away. Like it's
No. Actually,
crazy.
throws give a hard knockdown. I think certain throws, like I think they mentioned that Ryu's
Specific
back throw.
throws.
Yeah, Ryu's back throw. I think you can do a quick get up on that one, but
What?
the
That doesn't
hard
sound right.
knockdowns. Someone, I think it was Event Hubs or something. They said that hard knockdowns only happen off of throws and critical arts. But they specifically mentioned like when they said throws, it's like except for Ryu's back throw.
Well, even still, what I'm saying is that even after a hard knockdown, you still get up so damn fast, man. You get
Faster
up right
than an
away.
SF4 for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Like even Desk made a video and he showed how fast you wake up after a throw. It's crazy how fast you wake up compared to Street Fighter 4. And like yes, this keeps the game aggressive and stuff. And a lot of people hate that whole meta game in Street Fighter 4 where you know, it's too much Oki, right?
Yeah.
You know, you get knocked down and then you guess wrong, you get knocked down, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's annoying to watch too. But, you know, we should give some type of Oki game, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. It depends on the pacing and stuff. Because like CVS2, there wasn't like a heavy Oki game in CVS2.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there's a lot of play around like the guard crush meter in CVS2, you know?
Yeah. So I think it can work. Like the game seems fast paced enough to make it work without requiring a heavy Oki game. And it might focus more on a neutral game thing. Like damage is already so high as is, right? Like
Actually, you know what? That is a good point. Because if you had a huge Oki game, and with the amount of damage in this game,
it literally like one combo knockdown, mix up, and the guy might be dead at that point.
you won't have time for an Oki game because he's dead, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Look, there's a lot of stuff leading to improving the neutral game. The new counter hit system, and taking out focus attacks, and yeah, and the damage, all help the neutral game. A lot of stuff in this game, neutralizing fireballs, like a lot of anti-zoning stuff in this game. It's a lot of neutral stuff. So yeah, that's crazy. I wonder if they're gonna change that. We'll have to see.
It could definitely change drastically over the development months here. I mean, we're still in a work in progress here, so it can definitely shift towards more hard knockdowns or longer hard knockdowns for Oki.
Yeah, the amount of stuff they've changed since my breakdown videos has been insane. Like, if I was doing breakdowns on Street Fighter 5, the footage that we've been seeing has been Street Fighter 6. Pretty much everything that I've done has been changed almost for the breakdowns. It's pretty nuts how much they're changing in this game day by day. So that's cool. Next up is quick recovery is any two buttons at the same time. I put this down because this is another thing that the people that were able to play Street Fighter 5 haven't really talked about, is that there's definitely a quick get up. I know it's two buttons at the same time, and I don't know, like from the footage we've seen before, there's a quick rise on where you're standing and a quick rise where you can flip backwards.
Yeah, like almost like a roll or something like that. Yeah, there's some sort of visual indicator on a quick
Yeah.
get up though. I've seen
Yeah.
it.
No one's really talked about that, so I don't know what's up with that. But it's in the game. They have some type of quick recovery in the game. I'm gonna have to test that when I get to E3. But I don't like the idea of too many wake up options. I've mentioned this before, but since the knockdown is so short anyways, it doesn't really matter now. Like seriously, everything seems like a quick rise in this game.
Pretty much. There's definitely no delayed get up.
Jumping on someone in the corner does not cross them up. So there's actually footage of this. I don't remember where I saw it, but if you have the opponent in the corner and you attempt to jump over them, you cannot. You will just land in front of them. How do you feel about this?
Goes back to the older days. Like, I think SF4 was the only SF game that I recall where you could cross someone up in the corner. And I remember like that was so weird at first because it was so counterintuitive to what we've been used to in other fighting games. So it just kind of goes back to that.
I kind of liked the cross up in the corner because it allowed some normals with iffy hitboxes to be able to cross up, especially like the hard punch and hard kick.
Yeah.
You could do a really mean cross up. And I like the idea of sacrificing your corner pressure for a crazy combo kind of thing. I like that idea. But, whatever. If it's gone, it's gone. It's going to take me a really long time to get used to it, though. Because when I play other fighting games and someone jumps at me in the corner, I always block the other way, man. All the time. Like, I'm so used to it now. It's crazy. So, yeah. Love it or hate it, it is now gone. Speaking of gone, 360 and 720 motions are gone.
That's an interesting one that they mentioned that, what was it? I can't remember what news site or whatever, but someone mentioned it in a report.
Yeah.
And it's really weird that they mentioned that because all the characters that were revealed aren't known for 360 and 720s. So I mentioned that, right? That's only applicable to grapplers. So it was interesting that they mentioned that they were gone, which I guess kind of corresponds to this recent leak and tease that Birdie might be in the game.
And Birdie would have a throw move, right?
Yeah.
So this is the thing. Like, what they're trying to do is they're trying to make the game more accessible, right? So they take out 360 and 720 motion. Some people have complained about that. They don't like that, but they're in the game for a reason. You know what I mean? Like, we've had, there's easy motions in Street Fighter 4. You don't even have to do a full 360. You're actually able to do a 720 motion while standing. You don't have to leave the ground. There's a way to do it.
Yeah.
But, if you give a grappler an instant,
if you give them an easy way to do a command grab that does a lot of damage, it's too easy, right? Like it kind of takes something away. That's why I don't mind like a little bit of a harder directional input because it forces them to give you at least a small gap or like a visual indicator, like that pause to kind of avoid a command grab.
Yeah, like if it's a part of the game. Like if Zangief has full ultra in Street Fighter 4 and he jumps in on you, the first thing you're gonna think in your head is, I gotta watch out, he's gonna try to ultra me, you know what I mean? You can't stand there, you're gonna get thrown. And if they have a grappling, they're gonna have a grappling character in Street Fighter 5.
Definitely.
That has something exactly like Zangief, or if it's Zangief himself, or Birdie, or whoever the hell, and they have a throw super, and it's just, core circle forward twice into punch.
That would be insane.
Yeah, it'd be insane. Yeah, it would be insane. I wouldn't say it's like overpowered, but I'm just saying that it's gonna make the character very, very strong. Just by doing tick throws and stuff like that. So hopefully Capcom keeps that in mind because, like, when Snake Eyes or someone does like a walk up 720 with Zangief, people go nuts because it is nuts. It just allows so many more setups to do,
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, like, what do you think about delta motions?
Oh, like
Guile's Ultra.
Guile's,
yeah.
I hate those.
Delta motion is
I don't
pretty unnecessary.
I
You know
don't
what I mean?
mind like SNK style thing where it's like half circle back forward or core circle forward then half circle back or something like that.
Those are the best motions, by the way.
Yeah.
I love that motion. That
I
KO motions.
think I
They're the
think that
best.
I think that's like a good balance for like command grabs. If you don't want to do 360s, 720s, half circle back forward kind of motions, it still has that long
It still has
enough.
that little stutter to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. So it's like a good middle ground
That's true.
between having like a good command grab without and having a simpler input than like a 360.
Yeah, double half circle back, double half circle forward, stuff like that. If 720s are taken out of the game, as I've been informed, then definitely delta motions are gone. And just to clarify, guys, if you don't know what delta motion is, it's when you charge down back, then you go down forward, down back, up forward. So things like Guile's Ultra and DJ, stuff like that. It is pretty unnecessary unless it was something very strong that anti-airs the opponent or something. I don't know. I'm glad they're gone, but I do think that 360s and 720 should still be in the game, or like we mentioned before, double half circle and stuff like that. They're in there for a reason. Anything else you want to talk about that on that topic?
Not really.
Okay. Mash moves are gone. So rapidly pressing a single button 5 times. Blanca's electricity, Chun-Li's lightning legs, that stuff is gone. Chun-Li's lightning legs is now core circle forward kick, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So they took that out. Yeah, I think they should have taken it out because it's really difficult for players on controller.
Yeah, because I mean, stick and piano it, but pad like I don't know how you consistently get that out.
It's tough, man, and yeah, the joystick gets a huge advantage just on that alone.
Yeah,
Playing Chun-Li on stick or Blanca or anyone else, Honda, huge advantage on joystick just because you have the button layout and you can do piano motion.
mm-hmm.
Kind of sucks. I wanted to do another piano tutorial, but whatever. They took those out of the game, so I think it's great that they took it out of the game because it makes it just easier for players that use controller for the game. Okay, next thing is lots of chain combos for characters or target combos. I know Ryu has was it medium punch, hard kick target combo. Nash has something like light, medium, hard punch.
Yeah.
And I know Nash for sure has a light, medium, and light kick, medium kick target combos as well.
Yes.
So I don't think it's for every character. I just think it's for a lot of characters, pretty much. There's nothing wrong with that, having target combos. It gives newer players an easy way to get some damage out.
Yeah.
In this game. Nothing wrong with that. Target combos are fine. I don't think those target combos don't look like you can follow up with anything though, like special moves or anything like that.
Oh, you can cancel into specials off of them.
Can you?
Maybe not off of the last hit, but definitely off of like the second hit. You can.
Oh,
I've seen
yeah.
Nash do that. Nash players do that.
Okay. So
or at least it seemed like they did it.
Well, there's one like where Nash is like in the air. Like I think it's when you press hard punch, he flies up in the air.
Yeah.
And it looks like you can't follow up with anything else like that. For example,
it looked like they were doing like light medium chain into Sonic Boom or something like that.
Yeah,
or like light kick medium kick into that new spin kick move he has.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't mind adding target combos for characters. Like I said, it helps people get into the game right away and just focus on learning the fundamentals of the game rather than stupid long combos right away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like like a Rufus player just starting out, he's gotta learn the dumbest bread and butter ever. Okay.
Well, speaking on just combos in general, right? Like the execution, like it says like one frames aren't really there, or they are, but they're easier.
Well, we'll talk about that in a second because I have that on my list.
Oh, okay.
So don't worry. Just imagine we didn't talk about that. Let's keep going. Supers are done with one button now. They are called critical arts. Well, supers were always done with one button in Street Fighter 4, but what I meant is that there's no ultras.
Yeah.
in Street Fighter 5. They are just supers, but they are known as critical arts. So they're done with one button, so one punch or one kick. Don't have to press 3 punches or 3 kicks anymore. This will help out. Like, we got our buddy John here, and he has this macro button on his Xbox controller where he has to use L1. And because of that, he does stupid combos with Balrog where he does EX headbutt for no reason, just so he can do his ultra whenever he wants. And things like that. So
yeah, he had no fierce button.
Yeah.
No fierce punch.
So stupid. This is the same thing. Accessible and makes it so controllers don't have to suffer as badly when you're playing Street Fighter. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, in general, supers in this game are exactly like supers. Like, you can special cancel into them, They act just the same way. I guess the only difference would be that the EX bar, the critical arts bar, is only 3 bars. It's not 4. So I would assume that it would feel faster, basically.
Yeah, they definitely seem they want the game to be much more aggressive.
And they do a lot of damage, man. They do a lot
Oh
of
god,
damage.
like almost 50%.
They do a lot of damage. A ton. And I know when you activate V-Trigger, your supers do more damage. But we'll talk about that in a bit. So, I put more target combos. I guess I had amnesia or something. So we'll skip that topic. Okay, Plinking is removed. I can confirm that Plinking has been removed from Street Fighter 5. How do you feel about that?
I think that's fine because
They took it out across Tekken, didn't they? Yeah. They took it out across Tekken.
because there's like because they had like chain combos and stuff.
Oh,
But yeah,
yeah.
Plinking removed is not a big deal. I mean, we only use Plinking because the links were so tight in SF4, and since they've mentioned that links aren't as tight and combos are easier in this game, like you don't need Plinking anymore. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. And like I said, it's just another unnecessary thing that you have to learn to be able to play, at a high level. Street Fighter 4, not only you gotta learn a hard, bread and butter combo, you also have to learn how to plink 100% as well. Like, just plinking in itself is execution. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just an arbitrary thing that...
Plinking created all sorts of option selects too.
Plinking is an exploit. Just to make that clear. So it wasn't intended to be in Street Fighter 4. You know what I mean? But imagine if Plinking wasn't discovered. Imagine if it wasn't in Street Fighter 4. You know what I mean? All the combos in the game would be different that we use today. You know what I mean? People would have way different bread and butter combos. You know what I mean? So, what were we saying before, Killy?
Oh, what was I saying?
Oh, that's so good that I interrupted you there. That's funny.
No,
We're talking about Plinking. Were you saying something about King of Fighters? Probably were.
No, not King of Fighters.
I'll give you some time. If anyone's still watching this video, they will give you time. It has been a while.
Yeah, I can't remember. We'll just move on.
Sweet. But yeah, Plinking being removed is not a big deal at all. That's all I have to say. They're taking things out of Street Fighter 4 that made the game stinky.
Oh, I remember now. Plinking had created some option selects, if I recall correctly. Or there were some weird things that people would develop with Plinking for OSs and other garbage, so all that's gone. Basically, there was additional exploits you could use with Plinking. So...
just the idea of input leniency alone has created option selects.
Yeah.
Just so you guys know, it's impossible. It's impossible to remove every option select from a fighting game. It's just you can't do it.
People went like after the huge option select discovery in SF4. People actually went back in older fighting games.
Exactly.
And figured out how to do option selects in older fighting games.
Yeah.
And ever since now, moving forward, with every new fighter that came out, people were like, okay, how can we option select stuff? And so people have been because of SF4, option selects are a huge thing now.
Street Fighter 4 has probably the most option selects.
Yes.
Out of like fighting games, just because of the input leniency, and other weird things like invincible backdashes and plinking and just so many things created. That's the problem. You know, Capcom they wanted to make the game more accessible and easier for people to play, but then it spawned, you know, strange exploits because of it.
It got out of control.
Really out of control.
And with plinking being gone, so is select plinking. Your favorite.
Slinking.
Yes.
I'm sure Tokido and Daigo will still have 20 buttons on their stick just for the hell of it anyways. So yeah, moving on. Counter crush mechanic. So that huge fatal counter thing that I was talking about before, where Ryu would punch Chun-Li and get a counter hit, and then she would be like hold her face and she'd spin around. They officially named it Counter Crush, but it's basically fatal counter, basically an extended period of time. But what they changed now in this version is that it's not all hard attacks. Before it was every hard attack, even jump-ins, even low hard attacks would cause a counter crush on counter hit. But now it's specific attacks. And on top of that, it doesn't stun them as long, nearly as long. Like before, Ryu had enough time to hit Chun-Li and did the counter crush, and she would like hold her face, and Ryu would have literally enough time to walk up to her and then land a huge combo. You can't do that anymore. They're stunned for longer, a lot longer, but not too long like it was before. How do you feel about this?
That's good. I mean, BlazBlue did the whole fatal counter system first, and they were very specific. They were like one normal would cause a fatal counter, or a special would cause a fatal counter. And so people would develop fatal counter specific combos and then fatal counter specific setups. So I don't mind that.
And like in the anime, like in Persona, like you could do fatal counters on people when they're recovering from attacks too, right? Like,
yes.
You can really punish people hard if they did certain attacks too. So fatal counter is a little different than counter crush. But like I said, they started using this mechanic in Cross Tekken. I forgot, like Sagat, for example, if he did was it a step kick? When he did forward light kick and it was a counter hit, it would crush them and you'd be able to do a full combo. Anyways, it originated from Cross Tekken. And like I said, this really helps the neutral game. I love this mechanic. I love the idea that it blatantly shows that you landed it, so you can hit confirm it. And it's going to create a lot of cool combos and a lot of cool setups. And the fact now that it's specific attacks is great. I hope it tells you which attacks they are in the option screen in training mode. I really do hope it tells you. Because then it tells the player, new or veteran or whatever, it says, let's say, for example, Ryu's standing hard punch is a counter crush. He'd be like, oh, this is a counter crush, so I need to find out as many ways to land this hit as a counter hit as possible. And it'll get people, get the ball rolling, get their setups rolling, you know what I mean? I want that. I don't want it to be all heavy attacks because it's like, oh, I just randomly landed a jumping hard kick. Oh, they're counter hit. Now I'm going to land a huge combo and 80% of their health is gone. You know what I mean? Like, I want it so that when you're doing your footsies and all that, you know what the best attacks are to use for your character. And if it's different for each character, it keeps things fresh. So I like that. Having it stun too long, yeah, I guess that makes sense to make it not as long because the damage in this game is just so damn high. Giving the opponent basically a free dizzy on a counter hit would be pretty overpowered.
Yep.
So I can understand that change. I can understand why they did that. Okay, finally, now we can talk about it. One frame links are consciously gone. This is a quote. I think this was from SRK.
Yep.
I asked if one frame links were still a thing. The answer was yes, but the execution is more lenient, so they're easier to pull off. This sentence makes no fucking sense at all.
The only thing that could be implicated from this is maybe there's a buffer window.
Actually, yeah, that makes sense. So, from what I've been told, one frame links are consciously gone. So, what that means is that no matter what, you can't take one frame links out of a fighting game. It's just, you just can't. There's going to be some way to create a one frame link combo, whether it's gaining extra frame advantage on counter hit or a meaty setup or whatever. You just cannot take it out of the game. What you can do is to make sure that normal basic bread and butter combos are not one frame links. And Rufus is a perfect example of this. If someone wants to learn Rufus, and they're like, what's his bread and butter? I would say it's this close light kick into standing hard punch. That's a 1-frame link. That's his bread and butter. And, you know, we got players like Justin Wong, who's been playing this game for, what, 6 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he still drops that combo every now and then. Like, that should not happen. You know what I mean? Like, that's stupid that you would have to make a combo like that's that basic. So difficult to pull off.
Look at Vega, pre-Ultra SF4 Vega. His bread and butter was, I think it was like crouch jab times 3, and then something else.
Into medium.
Those 3 crouch jabs were 1-frame links.
It's
like,
so
what?
Stupid.
Why?
Yeah, I know. It's so stupid, man. They just went overboard with the 1 frames in Street Fighter 4 for sure. So yeah, they definitely should have taken that out for sure. Like, we're not gonna have Plinking anymore, so I hope it's gone. So it's either they consciously removed it, and a lot of the combos are 2-frame links now or higher, or like you said, there are 1-frame links in the game, but the buffer window is bigger. I hope it's not like that, because if the buffer window is bigger, it's going to create option selects and exploits again because of this. Because, for example, what if someone uses a turbo controller? You know what I mean? And they're putting out the inputs like crazy. And if the bigger buffer window, they're going to be able to do these stupid combos with turbo controllers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
the return of turbo short kick.
Yeah. Like that shit. No, don't do the buffer window. Let's just keep things, you know, that makes sense. Let's follow the rules of frames and you know, just change the frame data, please. And 2 frames or higher are fine. You can have some 1-frame link combos that are really damaging. There's nothing wrong with learning a really difficult combo if you want to take the risk of doing it in a match. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But don't just make it so that we can all do our combos too easily. You know what I mean? Otherwise, day 1 Street Fighter 5 is gonna be like instant kill combos up the ass, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like we do not want that, the damage to be too high. For these really difficult combos. So, I guess we'll find out at E3 how that works. I'll definitely ask that question to one of the developers for sure.
Mm-hmm.
We'll skip that one. Oh, Netcode. This is a good one to talk about. So, Capcom has already talked about the netcode they're going to use for Street Fighter 5. It's going to be a GGPO style rollback netcode, codenamed or whatever they named it, Kagemusha, and this is based off the same netcode that they use for Third Strike Online, the Darkstalker game that they reported. What was it called? Do you remember? It was a remake.
Yeah, it was like a bundle of 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Vampire Savior and Vampire Hunter.
And the third game was Cross Tekken, also used this netcode. I don't know if it's the exact same. I know it's based off of it, though, at least. And Capcom says the studio is promising a smooth, lag-free online experience.
There's no way you can make it lag-free?
Yeah, I don't give a shit what they say. Like, I'll see it, you know, I'll believe it when I see it kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
This is not directly at Capcom. This is any developer for any fighting game. Doesn't matter what they say, what they guarantee, what they use. I'll believe it when I actually see it. Netcode has just been a problem that's plagued fighting games since the dawn of time. There's only a very select few with good netcode. Killer Instinct,
yeah,
has one of the best netcodes I've ever seen for a game that looks like the way it looks, and you know, new generation game. Like, once you play online on KI, it's hard to go back on anything else, man. When you realize like how much of a difference it is when you have good netcode.
Mm-hmm.
Mortal Kombat started off with really bad netcode, but even their netcode is starting to get a little bit better and a little bit more playable. But it's tough because Mortal Kombat combos are really easy to do. You know what I mean? There's no real links or links and stuff like that, right? So like I can just, you know, mash the buttons out and get the combo out. But games like Street Fighter, man, where you have to time it, you have to visually confirm it, it's a big deal, man. When I play Cassie Cage in Mortal Kombat, it's hard, man, to do her combos. Really hard. Because you have to visually see the opponent fall and have to run cancel and all that shit. honestly, there's not much we can say about the netcode but pray. You know what I mean?
But it's definitely a positive sign that they are talking about the netcode this early into the development of SF5.
It's really scary when they don't talk about the netcode. It's really scary. Especially when you're like, what about the netcode? And they're like, oh, yeah, netcode's going to be great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when they come out and just say it themselves to you, like, by the way, we're using this kind of netcode and blah, 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 that's really good to hear. I really hope in the beta version, because we know there's going to be a beta eventually for Street Fighter 5 when you pre-order the game. I hope there's going to be online, and I hope it's specifically to test that netcode. So even if it is ass, they have time, man. They have time because, like I said, Mortal Kombat netcode was really bad, but they patched it 5 times already, and it's pretty decent now. Like, it's pretty decent, man. And it'd be better if, like, Capcom was ready and had it up to its full potential before release.
It'd be amazing if they were actually patching the netcode during the beta too. Like, if the netcode was ass in the beta,
I
then
hope they release the beta as soon as possible, and I hope they keep the beta available for as long as possible as well. I was gonna make a video a long time ago about, like, just, you know, what do I expect for Street Fighter 5 before we even knew Street Fighter 5 was coming out. But what I wanted them to do, and on the top of my list was a beta for the game. And it's so important to have a beta instead of a loc test, because, you know what I mean? We actually have people sitting down and breaking the game and having people play from all over the world, and of course playing online and testing out the netcode. It's just so damn important to have a beta for a fighting game. They're just too complex, you know, so hard to balance. And Sony is pushing this game hard, right?
Yeah, you can tell they have an agenda with this game, with how transparent and how hard they're pushing this game.
Sony's pushing this hard.
They want that esports.
Exactly. Sony wants this game to be a crazy esport fighting game, okay? They're obviously going to have some crazy online stuff with this game. Online tournaments, shit like that, right? They're going to have something crazy. And they're gonna need to have the beta version of this game have online. They're gonna need to test that.
Look at some of the quotes that you're seeing from Capcom on this. Right? Like I think one was like, Capcom wants to recreate the moments we saw. Like,
oh, please don't say it.
Yeah,
don't say it, please.
Say it.
I'm covering my ears.
Don't say it. Evo moment 37.
Oh my God, just let it die, dude. They want it die, man.
They want to recreate the excitement and the hype that moment brought. So you can tell, like, they want it to be just as much as a spectator sport as it is as a sport itself when you're playing it.
Don't need Evo moment to make that stupid thing.
You don't need the Evo moment, but they're just that quote saying like they want it to be a spectacle when the casual person or someone who's just watching, they want it to be interesting to watch, just to spectate it, and that you don't necessarily need to know how to play it to get into watching it.
Yeah.
So with things being said like that, like, they're definitely like really pushing for esports. I think like they definitely have that kind of agenda going on here. CPT also kind of solidifies that too.
Yeah, man. Bottom line, I hope the netcode is amazing. There's nothing more frustrating than trying to play Street Fighter and trying to learn it and being somewhere where you don't have a local scene, which is almost everywhere these days. And you can't even do your bread and butter combo. You can't punish your opponent for jumping on you. It's extremely... it's so annoying, you know what I mean? And it just makes you not want to play the game, not want to learn the game and take it to the next level kind of thing. So having good netcode for Street Fighter 5 is absolutely mandatory. No excuse kind of thing. It's literally like a deal breaker at this point, because you just takes so much. No one plays like story mode a million times and stuff like that. We play for competition. Even if you're a casual, even if you play the game strictly for fun, and you're playing against your buddy, you don't want lag to obstruct your fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I hope they have online in the beta. That's pretty much all I have to say about that. Anything else you want to talk about on Netcode?
Nope.
Actually, one more thing. Rollback Netcode. In case you guys don't know, it's actually, you know what? I don't know much about it too myself, but it's all about predicting, right? Do you know much about Rollback Netcode?
Yes, but not enough to really get into the details of it. But basically, it'll try to line it up with what should be happening on screen if something goes out of sync.
Like, if everything goes out of sync, all of a sudden it'll like rewind. That's why it's called Rollback Netcode. So if something desyncs, it's not like your game's gonna freeze or literally lag. It will just like rewind stuff, and it looks. The reason most developers don't use it is because it looks ugly. That's why they like the lag, because it's still like smooth, I guess.
What's happening on screen is what will consistently happen.
Yeah.
Regardless of like whether they go out of sync or whether it spikes with delay.
Yeah.
At least like what I'm seeing on screen is consistent with what my opponent is seeing on screen. But with rollback, that's not, in extreme cases, that's not what happens, right? What you see on screen versus what your opponent sees on screen doesn't necessarily match up. That's why when you see the rewind, it tries to match up with what should be happening. So sometimes, like, someone throws a fireball, and you jump in, you punish them, you're like, sweet, I just killed them. And then all of a sudden,
they come back to life like it's,
you get hit by that fireball,
fucking
you die.
Jason.
And you're like, what the F happened?
Like fucking Jason and Relentless or whatever.
Yeah.
Or Unstoppable. He just comes out of nowhere. You're just like, shit. Rollback.
Motherfucker.
Yeah. But if you guys want to know more about it, just look it up on YouTube, man. GGPO Rollback Netcode. Good game. Peace out. Okay, next up.
I guess we should add, like, people basically consider rollback netcode as the best and most superior version of netcode possible.
And most requested.
Yeah,
that's
constantly requested. And I think probably the best implementation of GGPO or rollback style netcode is Skullgirls.
Really? I haven't played it, so I can't say anything about it.
I played it initially, and yeah, the netcode was absolutely phenomenal.
Really?
And, yeah, it was great. It was like flawless across the U.S. from Canada, so I had no problems with it.
Hey?
But yeah, and then it got further improved because Mike said it was like he knows how he wanted it implemented and how it should work and all that stuff. So his implementation of GGPO in Skullgirls was quite phenomenal.
That's really good. And then we have
I think there was I've seen match vids of like Japan versus US, and the netcode was definitely like it was playable.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. So we know it's possible.
Yes.
We know it's possible.
It just needs to be implemented from the ground up, like when you're building the game, rather than like implement it after.
It costs them so much money just to reconstruct everything.
So that's why, like, this announcement that they did, I think it's today that they announced this Kagemusha netcode that they're doing. It's a really positive sign, because now it's like, okay, we're looking at the netcode from the ground up of building this game. So it's looking really positive for the netcode.
Yeah, man. This Capcom was really listening to a lot of requests. It seems, they're really listening this time. Like, look at the pacing of the game. You know what I mean? Like, remember how slow it used to look?
Yeah, everyone complained about how slow it looked when at CPT finals. And it's like, it looks so slow, it looks terrible, it's too slow, it's slower than SF4. And then it's like they sped it up, and they sped it up, and now we got this build.
Yeah, now it's like alpha. I think.
It seems more like alpha style speed and pacing. Comofine says it's more like Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo speed.
Yeah, I think it's more like alpha style.
Yeah, but still people think, because of the way hit stop looks, people think the game is so slow. But it's like,
dude, I've seen comments, man. I don't know where it was. It was on, I think it was on Event Hubs or YouTube, but people are like, "Oh, the game still looks slow." I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, and then you see Des released this video today where he compares the speed between SF4 and SF5, and it's pretty comparable. It's actually, I think SF5 is actually faster than SF4 in most cases.
I hope it is. I hope it is. Well, like we should play a couple matches in Street Fighter 4 before we head out to LA and just get a little feel for the game, and then, you know what I mean, make the transition a little crazier for Street Fighter 5. I'm gonna have an idea on the speed and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on. Music sounds like shit. I
don't think it sounds that bad.
This is my opinion.
It could use some work, but I think it's still work in progress.
I think the music sounds like shit. Hopefully it's a placeholder. I really do.
I think the audio sounds like shit.
That's the next topic. I don't like the music in the game so far. I hate that forgettable, like, ambience tunes. Like, I hate that. I don't care what, like, genre of music it is, whether it's MVC2 jazz, you know what I mean,
and like the smooth jazz
or
MVC2?
hard rock or whatever it is. I don't care, as long as it's catchy. You know what I mean? Like, the music in MVC2 is so lame, but it's catchy and it's memorable. You know what I mean? And that's what counts. Even the fucking Indestructible theme for Street Fighter 4, man. It's the stupidest song ever, but everyone, you don't even know the videos of people were singing it, and, like, you know, you start your game, it's like, and you're just like, yeah, man. You know what I mean? Like, we need memorable music.
I didn't mind the song they used in the first build, the very first alpha build we saw. There was that song they used for the stage. I didn't mind that one, actually.
Which one? The one with Peter and Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the same song. There's footage for Street Fighter 5 where they, you know, no commentary. It's just direct capture. Yeah. The song it's the same song, but they don't have the chick, you know, singing in the background.
Yeah, I like it with the chick singing in it. I like that version of the song.
But now the music just sounds like just plain Jane ambience. It sounds terrible. I do not like the music so far. I'm being very truthful about it. I think it sounds like shit. Let me know what you guys think about it. Maybe I'm the only one here, but I think it sounds like shit. I'm sorry, guys. I don't mean to be a dick, but it just sounds like shit, man. Straight up. Oh my god.
Okay.
VesperArcade.
Okay. To the audio.
Moving on. Sound sounds
like shit.
The sound sounds like shit too, dude.
The block stun sounds so terrible.
When Chun-Li does her lightning legs and Ryu's blocking, it sounds like an AK-47. It's shooting off a cardboard box, dude. Like, when I'm blocking Chun-Li's lightning legs in Street Fighter 5, I don't know if I should duck for cover. You know what I mean? Oh, seriously, it sounds like... I don't know, man. The sounds, they need some improvement.
Yeah,
I think
those are audio placeholders or something. They
I really hope
so. Those.
Like, there's no announcer in the game, you know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't put an announcer in the game.
No.
So, I'm assuming sound, like, you know, sound would be last on the list for things for them to work on. Mm-hmm. So, let's hope so, man. It sounds like shit, dude. So, you at least agree with me on that, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Good. That's not just me. Oh, fuck. Why did I write down this note? Did you notice this note I just put down?
The last one?
The one where Chun-Li's Ultra?
Oh, yeah, I see.
Did you notice this?
No, I didn't, actually.
Okay, get ready for this. This is good. Chun-Li's Ultra, the amount of hits have been changed. Okay, only certain amount of people would notice this shit, but Chun-Li's Ultra used to do 17 hits. Now it does 37. Why does it do 37?
I don't know.
Because
are you sure it was just the raw, or was
no? I am 100% positive they changed it. It used to do 17 hits.
Okay, but what about, was V trigger active? Maybe V trigger adds more hits.
No, dude. Trust me. I wanted to create a reason for this not to happen, but it has happened.
Okay.
They changed it to 37 hits because of evil moment number 37.
Oh no!
Yes. No. It is so stupid. So, in case you guys didn't notice that Easter egg, they actually changed Chun-Li's Ultra to do 37 hits because of Evil Moment 37. If for some godforsaken reason you guys don't know what Evil Moment 37 is, look it up on YouTube, because I really don't want to talk about it.
How is he gonna parry that? How, like, does it do the regular 7, 7, and 7 when you're blocking it?
Yeah, because that's when she goes into animation.
Oh, okay.
You know, when you block it, it's gonna do less hits. I don't know if it's 7-7-1.
Okay.
Or 8-8-1, whatever it was in Third Strike.
Yeah.
But in case you guys didn't know, they did quote that Ryu is able to parry Chun-Li's entire super. It's apparently possible. So you can recreate that stupid moment that I don't want to talk about anymore. It's just been done to death. Seriously. There's been a lot of crazy stuff that's been happening in the fighting game scene, and I don't know why we have to keep talking about that one. Last topic is Street Fighter V will never be on Xbox, or in other words, never be on a console besides PS4 and PC. This has been, like, you know, straightforward addressed. Like they literally said it will only be for PlayStation 4 or a Sony console and PC. This is not a surprise at all. Sony is funding this game. They're helping Capcom. This game is partly theirs. Why the hell would it be for, you know, Xbox? It makes no sense. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's not a surprise. This is not a bad thing, though, because it's also on PC. If you don't want to get a PS4, just get it on PC, man, because the online is going to have cross-play. So PC people that have it for Street Fighter V will also be able to play with PS4 guys.
And you don't have to worry about buying a new stick.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about that whole, you know, 2-stick thing, too. It just, yeah, like, honestly, like, fighting games are a niche, and they should be on as many consoles as possible, many platforms as possible. But the fact that it has cross-net play, and the fact that one of those platforms is PC, I think PC is kind of like the platform in the middle. That, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's a good middle ground, because it's accessible to anyone, because everyone has a computer, right? So, I'm happy about that, at least. Like, for example, Killer Instinct, like, it needs to be on PC, man. They need to release that game on PC. It needs it badly. It doesn't matter which console is more popular than the other.
PC helps bridge that gap for everyone else.
Yeah, exactly. So if you guys are salty about it not coming out on Xbox, then just get it for PC.
It shouldn't be a big deal, honestly. It really shouldn't be a big deal that it's not coming out on Xbox, because that release on PC should just quench that right away.
We don't know if, like, we don't know if Microsoft confronted Capcom and tried to make a deal with them too to have
Who knows?
Console, right? We just know that Sony offered more money. You know?
Yep.
That's just the bottom line. It could have easily been on Microsoft. We know that Capcom wanted to make Street Fighter V.
Yeah.
They might have came to both companies, and one just offered more. But it's also no surprise that, like, Capcom Japan has a better relationship with Sony.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a good influence too. But like I said, it's no surprise. So if you guys are waiting for this thing to come out on an Xbox console,
don't hold your breath.
It ain't. It's not. Okay. So we are like an hour and 20 minutes into this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's talk about the mechanics of the game. So the three biggest mechanic changes to Street Fighter V is the V system. V stands for variable, or Vesper, or victory. It stands for variable. Okay, so they introduced V trigger, V skills, and
V reversals.
V reversals, which I keep thinking is V counters. V counters sounds better, but V reversals. So now they added the V gauge. So before, in the footage that we have for Street Fighter V, we had the revenge meter, which was literally the ultra meter from Street Fighter 4.
Yep.
They completely scrapped that now. It's gone. And now they've given us the V gauge. It's similar to the ultra meter in the sense that the V gauge fills up when you take damage. It doesn't fill up necessarily when you do attacks, except for your V skills, which I'll talk about in a second. So it only fills up when you take damage, and when you block attacks and you take your gray damage, your recoverable damage, and it starts to fill up, you'll be able to build it up for free, essentially, and keep your health up. That's pretty much like it for filling it, and then your V skills also raise it as well. How do you feel like this whole V gauge thing as a comeback mechanic, like V trigger and stuff?
It's not I won't call it a comeback mechanic. One, it fills up so quickly that you can actually use it multiple times around.
Yeah.
For some characters anyways. So I don't consider it a comeback mechanic at all. Plus, it's not a single time raw damage, like burst damage output. It is an actual, it's a, like the thing says, a variable, like an install type thing, like an install super. It is a utility tool. It's not a one-time burst damage comeback. You have just a utility to potentially change momentum to your favor.
Yeah, it's not like X Factor where you just like activate it and all of a sudden you just become godly. You know what I mean? And the opponent has to go on pure defensive. It's not like that. What it is, it just means that the pacing and meta of your match is going to change dynamically every round for your character. You know, especially for a character like Bison, for example, who's super slow. He's more of a zoning character. But then when he activates his V trigger, all of a sudden he's crazy rushdown. You know what I mean? And he has crazy mix-ups, you know, where he's teleporting all over the screen and stuff. So I don't consider it a comeback mechanic at all, even though this is the game's comeback mechanic. But it's a very, it's not extremely powerful in some other games that you'd say, especially with like if you compare it to like doing an Ultra. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or X Factor. Level 3 crazy stuff. Like Pandora in Cross Tekken wasn't too good either. I think they found out some crazy stuff with it in the later stages of the game, but it's more useful than something like Pandora, for example. So anyways, like I said before, your V gauge fills from taking damage, and you can also fill it up with recoverable damage too. And it also fills up from your V skills. So your V skills is pretty much a personal attack for every character in the game. And you do it with mediums. Medium punch and medium kick at the same time. And it does something different with every character. And it'll reward them with V gauge meter. And,
but only on successful use.
Yeah, there's different circumstances for every character. And one thing I forgot to point out too is that your V gauge is a different amount for different characters. So it's in segments like bars, just like your super meter is. So Ryu, Chun-Li, and Nash is 2 bars, and Bison is 3 bars. So certain characters will take longer to activate their V trigger and have more stock to use their V reversals. But at the same time, when you activate, they'll be able to use their V trigger will be active longer as well. So that's something to keep in mind too, and it adds more, you know, personality to the game too. So the V skills add another layer to the game to really make each character feel like more unique to other characters. So like I said, V skill, use your 2 medium buttons to use it. Ryu gets a parry. It's pretty much exactly like it was in that stupid mode in Ultimate Marvel 3 and Omega Ryu, right?
Yeah.
Ryu goes into a quick stance, and for like a short window, any attack that hits you is parried. Right now, I feel like it's too powerful. I know it's kind of early to say, especially since I haven't played the game, but the fact that I know that you can parry multiple hits by pressing the mediums multiple times. So if an EX Fireball comes at you and it does 2 hits, you can go, you know, mediums, and it'll parry twice. The fact that you can parry lows too, I feel it's just a little too powerful, because it just means that, you know what I mean? It's just too many ways that you can parry attacks. You don't have to worry too much. You know what I mean? Because like in Third Strike, when you parry, if someone does a low attack, you have to press down to parry. and if they hit you with a standing attack, you have to press forward. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't just have like even Goken in Street Fighter 4. He has a different move.
He has to guess.
Yeah, higher, mediums, or lows, right? But the fact that Ryu doesn't have to guess at all, you know what I mean? He just has to know that you're gonna do an attack, is pretty crazy, I think. The downside to it, I guess, the weakness to it would be the fact that he actually does something. You know what I mean? There is recovery to it. So
like a whiff animation.
Yeah, it can be easily baited. So I can like jump in on Ryu and he can like do it, and then I can bait it, not press anything, and then punish him for it, for example. So there's that. So like I said, I know it's a little early to talk about something like that being too powerful, but compared to the other characters, I feel that Ryu's has the strongest V skill out of Bison, Nash, and Chun-Li.
I really think Chun-Li's is really good though. I think Chun-Li's V skills really fucking good.
And we'll talk about that in a second. But But do you agree with me on that, or
I think Ryu's probably one of the stronger ones. Probably, in my opinion, I think it's probably second best. It depends on how people master it in the long run.
And when you do a successful parry, you build up your V gauge. I think it's like a quarter, a meter.
Builds up quite a bit.
It's huge. Per parry. You can't just whiff it. You can't just do it and then expect to build your bar. It doesn't work that way. You actually have to successfully parry. You don't see any footage of Ryu actually parrying and like doing like a special move right after. Like, for example, parry uppercut. Or maybe there was...
I've seen parry uppercut.
Oh, you have? Oh,
yeah.
Okay. So you can't do special attacks then. All right, I was wondering about that. So, yeah, seems super strong. V skill, we're still talking about. Okay, let's talk about Chun-Li's now. It's kind of hard to describe without footage, but she basically does a leap forward in a 45-degree angle, and it has a hitbox. It's kind of like maybe a super low jump from KOF, a slower version of it. It looks
with a hitbox.
With a hitbox. So yeah, Chun-Li, she like dashes in the air, kind of like Morgan's dash, I guess. I don't know. She dashes up in the air at a 45-degree angle, and it's an attack. It can hit the opponent. If it does hit the opponent, it builds your V gauge.
And it launches them.
And you can combo after it, and you can combo into it as well.
So typically you'll see like something leading into the V skill, and then toe taps, and then cancel the last hit of toe taps into air lightning legs.
Yeah.
It does so much damage.
Yeah, you can specifically like go, her V skill, and she knocks them up, and you can do like 3 head stomps into lightning legs. You can do like jumping hard punch into the V skill, and then do that entire combo. So man, it's got a lot of utility. It's just not as a combo filler, but and even also to get in on the opponent,
And then even if they block it, she floats afterwards. So now she gets this mix up with her head stomps.
And it feels like when she does the move towards the opponent and she does a head stomp, it looks like she loses all of her momentum. Like she stops in place.
Yeah.
And you can pressure the opponent that way. Like, she looks really tricky. That move looks amazing. Like it's really cool. I wonder how they thought of that one. You know what I mean? Like when you look at the other V skills, they all seem like some type of way of neutralizing, like a defensive.
Yeah. I think it was used to balance out her jump, because her jump is so high and so floaty, and it doesn't really travel that far horizontally. Where her V skill allows her to travel horizontally in the air quickly and at a lower arc than her normal jump.
Yeah, I wonder how they came up with it, because it just doesn't look like it's based off anything.
No, it's interesting, but also I think it's probably the best V skill at the moment.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
You might be right. We'll find out at E3, but it looks crazy. Okay, let's talk about Nash. So Nash's V skill is he sticks out his hand, and he can absorb a projectile, and then he gains a ton of V gauge if he's successful at doing it. It also has a hitbox.
Yes.
So you can use it as an attack as well. It doesn't. The range looks like shit though.
Yeah.
It just so happens to have a hitbox. The amount of meter he gains is a lot though.
Yeah, it looks pretty weak though. Like in comparison to like how he needs to build V gauge and like what he uses V gauge for, it's like, oh man, it's kind of hurting.
So you feel like it's the weakest of the 4?
Yes, and I think it's done for balancing reason because I think his V skill and his V reversal is really strong.
And honestly, like, I don't, I don't, I don't think that's much of a like. I don't feel like it's a bad thing if a character has a better V skill than another character, or another character has a better V trigger than another character. I think that's all part of like the balancing of the game to make it really unique for every character. You know, I don't want everything to be compared to the other character. You know what I mean? And have like a middle ground, everything like kind of balanced in that way. Like you have to tilt things for all these mechanics. Maybe one character will have a better V reversal than another character, but his V trigger is shit, or other things like that. You know what I mean? Like we already have different size V gauge meters. You know, Bison has 3 bars, and you know, Nash only has 2. Ryu only has 2. Chun-Li only has 2. So we don't know like what's gonna happen for future characters. Maybe one character will have 4 bars of V gauge. Like let's say if Zangief was in the game, right? Or Birdie if he's in the game. If he has, let's say he has 4 meters. You know what I mean? That'd be crazy. And it'd be like some crazy like buff where it buffs up his damage or something like that. You know what I mean? Or if you have another character in the game that's like a pixie-like character, like let's say Young, for example, and he only has 1 bar of V gauge, and he can activate Ganaijin right away. You know what I mean? Like,
I really wanted Nash to
there's a
have
lot of
1
potential.
bar for
You
his
know what I
V
mean?
gauge.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential here for just the way they can, you know, fool around and balance the game. So, like I said, I don't think it's much of a problem of someone having a weak V skill compared to other characters. Okay, so last we have Bison's V skill. So Bison's V skill is a 2-part V skill where you press the 2 mediums and you absorb an attack. Now everyone thinks that it's just projectiles. It's any attack. Okay, so Bison can he can absorb a normal hard punch or fireball,
So it's
or
like
a special move.
parry in itself.
It's a parry in itself. It does not have a hitbox. You cannot hit the opponent with this. The parry itself that Bison does. If you continue to hold it down, he will reflect back his own projectile, and it will do 2 hits, and it causes a knockdown. If you choose to use the fireball, your V gauge fills. But if you choose to parry an attack and do not follow up with the fireball, it does not fill. So this one has a lot of utility as well. And like I said, you have to choose to reflect it to actually gain meter for it. And it does not have a hitbox. So there is a difference between that one and Ryu's and Nash's. How do you feel about this one for Bison?
I think it's interesting, and it kind of fits how the fact how he has to play the neutral game longer until he has a full V gauge. Like it fits with the design intent for Bison.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, V skills, man. It's gonna be pretty cool to see what the other characters are. I hope they add a lot of more variety to it and stuff like that. And we've already seen from screenshots with Ono showing like banana peels and pop cans and shit on the ground. So we don't know what the hell's going on. The next character is like going through like a dumpster bin, throwing garbage all over the floor or some shit, right? So that's pretty cool. Yeah, so we talked about the V gauge, V skills. Let's talk about V reversals now.
Yes.
V reversals, people are just flat out calling it alpha counters. It's a little different than alpha counters. It's more like, what do they call in Guilty Gear? Dead angles?
Dead angles. I think it's more like BlazBlue, where they're called counter assaults. And I remember in earlier BlazBlues, they were different between characters because some characters would strike back. I remember Noelle, her counter assault, she would actually phase through the opponent.
So V reversals, they are done by when you are in block stun, when you're blocking. You press forward and 3 punches or 3 kicks depending on what character you're using. And for Ryu, he does kind of like, it looks like he's shooting a projectile out, like a Hadouken.
Yeah.
And he pushes the opponent back, gives you space. By the way, all these, the reason I say it's not exactly an alpha counter is just these things look like they could be clearly baited. There has been an article written before, I think IGN wrote that you got to be careful when you use them, or not, it wasn't IGN, it was something else. But you gotta be careful when you use
GameSpot
them.
or something, or Eurogamer.
Yeah, it's not fully invincible. Like
Yeah.
you can be stuffed, and there's definitely recovery to it too. So if you want to bait out the opponent, you can just hit him with a jab. Maybe he might do it, for example, and you can bait it out. Maybe cancel your jab into to some type of invincible attack, maybe, or
So
something.
basically, like King of Fighters, ways to bait.
Yeah,
Guard cancel. What was it? Guard cancel blowbacks.
Yeah. So this costs 1 stock of V gauge. So if a full stock, Bison will be able to do it 3 times. Ryu will only be able to do it twice. Costs 1 stock. I don't know if you're able to do them when your V trigger is activated. That's something we should test out. I don't know if it'll actually just drain your bar more. So yeah, Ryu shoots out like a little projectile and it pushes the opponent back. Chun-Li, she does double palms. It doesn't push the opponent back as much, and it doesn't knock him down, almost implying that you can combo after it. You can't V cancel out of it because it requires bar to use in the first place.
Yeah.
So I'm curious. I'm curious if you can combo after it, because that'd be kind of cool. Because then it would be a huge difference between Ryu and Chun-Li when they appear similar.
Yeah.
But they're not. You know what I mean? Let's talk about Bison's next. Bison's V reversal. It looks like the startup animation of his super. He turns into a ball of like a psychosphere ball, and it knocks the opponent away once again. Very similar to Ryu's. Yeah, that one looks like you can heavily bait it. And I don't know if Bison players will really want to use this too much because
they need that rush down, man.
He needs 3 stocks, man, to activate his V trigger. You know what I mean? You're gonna make it that much longer to get to that point. So, the pain, there's good. Like I said, you take chip damage in this game from just normal attacks, so there's gonna be a lot of pressure. So you're gonna have to use your V reversals at some point for to breathe. But I'm really interested to see how much we're gonna be using those as the game evolves, basically.
Yeah.
Finally, we have Nash. It's the most unique one. Sorry?
My favorite.
He dashes to the other side.
He teleports, yes.
Yeah, he teleports to the other side. It's really cool.
I haven't seen a consistent one. His is interesting because I've seen a one where he V reversals. He's like on the other side of the screen. And then another time he V reversals. He's behind the opponent.
Really?
Yeah.
You have footage of that?
Yes.
You'd have to show that to me later. I don't think I remember seeing that.
I did see that.
I thought it was a set distance.
I thought it was a set distance too, but then I saw footage today and he ended up behind the opponent. I'm like, oh, that's different.
That's crazy.
So maybe I misinterpreted something, but I'm pretty sure that it was 2 different distances with that V reversal.
Holy shit.
So if that's the case, then I'm wondering if you hold forward or maybe hold 3 punches, it changes the distance. But I'll have to rewatch the footage to verify that. But I'll definitely be testing that in E3.
Yeah. Yeah, Nash's V reversal looks the coolest. He only needs 2 stock, right? And he's going to be using his V trigger the most out of all the characters that we've seen so far. Just because when he does his V trigger, it blows the entire meter. So he's working on it again right away. It definitely adds a lot of utility for Nash. It's gonna be really cool, man.
He's by far my favorite.
Because if I was hoping that'd be a set distance. The reason I said that is because let's say Ryu throws a fireball at you and you block it from a certain angle that when you do your V reversal, you teleport right behind him or maybe in front of him, and it's ambiguous. You know what I mean? That'd be really cool if it was a set distance. Yeah, man, he's looking like a really advanced character. You know what I mean? Nash looks sick in this game. Really well designed character so far.
Yeah, he's looking like my favorite character of the revealed so far.
Really? That's cool, man.
I'm gonna spend most of my time at E3 with.
Oh,
Nash.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, you'll be working on Nash then. I'll be working on the other characters.
Yeah.
We'll be writing down the notes. Okay, so we talked about V skills, talked about V reversals and the V gauge itself. So now finally we're gonna talk about V trigger. So V trigger has changed in the way for every individual character because when you do a V trigger, for most characters, it's like an install. It powers up your character and enhances most of their attacks and stuff like that. For every character except for Nash, it raises the damage of their supers when your V trigger is active. When you activate your V trigger, it requires your entire meter. You have to press hard punch and hard kick at the same time. And then your meter starts draining. So it acts as a timer. And then when it drains, you start at scratch again, and you can start building it again. Also, your V gauge resets at the start of every round. So you're basically forced to use your V trigger. Basically, you can't just like sit on it and hope to use it at the beginning of next round kind of thing. And save it. So in my previous breakdown videos, V trigger was very complex. For Ryu, he would gain an extra hit on his fireball every time he activated for the entire match. And
it carried between rounds too.
And for the entire match, it carried between rounds, and we had no idea what the hell the limit was on that thing. There was other things. It looked like he couldn't block. His V trigger would go away immediately on hit.
And by using a special too.
And by using a special fireball, it calls a guard crush. It seemed like his first hit was a guaranteed counter hit. It was really complicated stuff, man. Chun-Li's was totally different too, man. She would do double fireballs. All of her special attacks would change. They would like cause like not do knockdowns anymore, and she would be able to like special cancel attacks. Like I said, it just seemed really complex. Before
hers went away when she got knocked down too.
Her V trigger went away when she got knocked down, not when she got hit like Ryu. So everything about it just seemed very complex, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So now they
standardized everything, basically.
Yeah, they streamlined it. You know, it's I guess dumbed it down. Now it's way more straightforward now. What your V trigger does for your character. It's still character specific. It's still really unique, but it's just not as crazy complex as it was in the previous breakdown footage. And it kind of bugs me, man. I really wanted to know what the hell Chun-Li's V trigger did before with that special cancel.
We'll ask one of the devs.
I'm going straight to Peter and E3. I'm going to ask him, man. It's just I need that answer solved. You know what I mean? Like it bugs me now. Now I'm never going to find out. So anyways, yeah, let's talk about V trigger character by character. So let's start with Ryu. Ryu's V trigger, 2 stocks. He activates all of his special moves gain lightning, and he does more stun on all of his attacks. He is able to charge his fireball, and you can charge it for a few seconds, and if you fully charge it, it will guard crush the opponent, so it will be unblockable, and you'll have a little window to punish them. Like, it's literally a guard crush.
Yeah.
And when you charge his fireball, the fireball comes out really fast. Like, it speeds up the fireball too.
Yeah.
So his uppercut will be infused with lightning, does more stun. It looks like they got hit by like Blanca, electricity, everything like hurricane kick, lightning, everything's lightning. This V trigger, as plain Jane as it sounds, it's really powerful, man. Like, we're seeing Ryu's, like, you know, stunning the opponent on just like 3-hit bread and butter combos, man. Like, it does a massive amount of stun. Like, when Ryu activates that thing, you gotta be super careful not to get a clean hit on you, or the round's gonna be over. Like, it looks crazy. A Capcom developer said that Ryu will not be able to do DP V cancel into Super. It will not work, apparently. I don't know specifically what that means, because Ryu should be able to DP V cancel, right?
Yeah, I've seen DP V cancel on block, but I guess he can't just cancel into Super immediately and have a combo.
He would recover before the opponent would fall, for sure.
Yeah, so maybe it just doesn't juggle.
It would just go right through him. It wouldn't juggle.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can think, you know what I mean, that would mean.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think about Ryu's V trigger?
I think it's really strong. I don't know if he does extra damage, but the stun output plays so many mind games. Like, say you've got them close to stun, and then you activate V trigger or blocks the string into V trigger, and then it's like overhead, and then he's stunned from that.
I can almost guarantee that there's gonna be 100% stun combos with Ryu, using V cancel. I can almost guarantee it.
Or like a reset or mix up using V cancel into a mix up.
The amount of stun is just insane, man. It's crazy. Just so much stun that he does.
I want to see how many overheads Daigo is gonna land with Ryu.
Oh my god! I noticed that the overhead for Ryu, it doesn't force stand on hit.
No.
Disappointing. Okay, let's move on to Chun-Li. You want to explain this one?
Yes. This one's crazy. When Chun-Li activates, it adds an additional hit or two to her normals. But her light normals, it doesn't appear she gains additional hits from it.
Okay.
But her medium normals looks like they gain 1 extra hit, so they do 2 hits. And then her heavy normals get 2 additional hits, so they do 3 hits.
Yeah, from what I've seen, that's how it is.
And I think this is probably the strongest V trigger in the entire game.
Yeah, right, no one's been talking about it.
It looks
no one's been talking about it at all. Like everyone talks about like Bison's.
I don't know.
But like Chun-Li's is super powerful, man. It's really simple, but it's like it's crazy.
I think it's OP as fuck. It's so fucking good. Like my prediction is Ricky Ortiz is gonna go straight to Chun-Li and he's gonna abuse the shit.
Oh, dude, Justin's gonna play Chun-Li for sure, man.
Justin said he wanted to use Bison. But I swear, if he sees Chun-Li, he's gonna be
he's gonna use Chun, man.
Tokido's gonna go straight to Chun-Li also.
Oh, yeah, man. He follows his nose, man, right to that cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just the damage racks up like crazy.
But then, like, think about it. If it does multi-hits, the recoverable gray damage chip that you're gonna deal from it is gonna be insane.
The extra gray damage, you gain extra meter when you hit the opponent from your critical arts. Yeah, man, the damage is crazy. Like we saw that one combo she did. Yeah, she activated V trigger. She did jumping hard punch, crouching hard punch into
EX bird.
And it did so much damage and stun. It's crazy. There's also another thing that was written is that she's also able to special attack or cancel her special attack into the same special attack, apparently. So she could apparently do like fireball into fireball or lightning leg into lightning leg, but we actually haven't seen it at all.
I wonder how do they prevent an accidental super coming out, because lightning legs are core circle forward, and I think her super is double core circle forward.
Hey man, that's a good point. Maybe you just buffer it slowly at the tail end when it's about to, after the last active frame, or maybe something like that. But it's not just adding extra hits, because that would be just too little compared to the other characters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She definitely has something that adds more combo potential for her. And we'll find out for sure at E3 what the hell that is. We just don't have any footage of it. But it has been written down that she can do multiple of the exact same special move. But yeah, in the footage before, she all of her attacks were enhanced, and she was able to throw double fireballs, double everything, man. And that's all been taken out.
They even took out her that aerial spin special that she had in the first build.
Yeah, and actually, we will talk about special moves and stuff for characters after we're done talking about the mechanics. So, thanks for reminding me about that. So, let's move on to Bison or Nash. Let's talk about Bison. So, Bison's V trigger, once again, his V cage is 3 stocks, which is the most of all the characters that have been revealed at this moment. His is pretty crazy. It lasts a long time, for one thing. I think it's like 15 seconds, I counted, when he activates. What happens is that his dash becomes a teleport, basically. I know you can throw him out of the start of the teleport, but you can also go through fireballs with it. There's a certain point in the hitbox where, you know what I mean? He doesn't have a
hitbox.
Yeah. So it's literally like a teleport. And it crosses up the opponent. It's kind of like Senko or Slayer from Guilty Gear, like his dash.
Mm-hmm.
But the recovery is hella fast. Like, you can spam it and get to the opponent right away. It's scary. And then it also enhances all of his special attacks, where he does a weird teleport at the startup or the end of it. You've seen that, right?
Yeah. It adds like different properties to his specials.
Yeah, his Psychosphere becomes a projectile.
I think so. And then his Devil's Reverse, he actually
It's
teleports
called
right behind.
Psychoblast, the Psychosphere.
Oh, okay.
I made that shit up. It's called Psychoblast. Yeah, like shoots a projectile. Scissor kicks. He teleports at the start of it.
Mm-hmm.
Might be invulnerable at the start or something like that. When he does his Skull Diver or Devil's Reverse.
Yeah, Devil Reverse.
Devil's Reverse. He literally, when he flies up in the air, he will literally teleport and you can't see where he is, and then he comes back down with a punch attack. It looks really cool. But one thing to keep in mind though is that when you do these special attacks, it drains your meter faster. And on top of that, when you do your super with your V trigger activated, it drains your V trigger faster as well for all characters, except for Nash because you can't do that. It's not an install. But Bison's V trigger is, on paper, it's very powerful compared to the other characters because of how long it lasts and how much it changes the character's style of play.
I really like how it does that, how it makes them more rushed down. Like the design intent with Bison is so interesting.
Yeah, because for Ryu and Chun-Li, it enhances their strengths. Not as in like damage, I mean like what the character is good at.
Yeah, it doesn't augment their playstyle.
Yeah, exactly. And whereas Bison's, it literally changes how he plays. And we want more of those kind of V triggers in the game because it makes it really unique. They really change that pacing and that meta and how you play against Bison after he activates his V trigger and before it. We definitely want that because like it changes how the matchups are. You know, like this is a bad matchup when Bison has his V trigger because, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's really, really cool. It's also like going to allow really easy V triggers for other characters. Like this is gonna be really hard for Capcom to figure out a V trigger for every character. They need to figure out something unique, right? So, you know, something like if Oro is in the game, for example, like the Tengu Stones.
Oh my god, if his V
his
trigger was
V-trigger.
Tengu Stones, that'd be insane.
Yeah, that would be his V trigger.
If Urine was in the game,
if Urine, it'd be Aegis Reflector. It'd be a one-time use Aegis Reflector. Yun would be Ganesian.
You know how awesome it is if Urine had only one stock of V gauge, and then he's like multiple Aegis.
If Zangief was in the game, he would turn into Mecha Zangief. It's just like there's so many things that they can play with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And in the future, in the you know, they can add multiple V triggers for characters. You know what I mean? Like
I really hope they expand
cool.
it out to do like a group or like a variation system.
Yeah,
like
man. Because people were already saying that like, you know, they're gonna add different elements for a character. Like Ryu is lightning. Ken would be fire, and there's potential to do stuff like that. You know what I mean? Add different V triggers for different characters in the future. That'd be way cooler than adding more different supers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like a total different playstyle. That'd be cool. I just hope they don't have a one-time use counter V trigger, please. You know, like a counter super.
Oh yeah, counter supers.
Please don't have something like that, please. So let's talk about Nash's now. Nash's V trigger. This one's your favorite, right?
Yes. So Nash's it's not an install. So if you press, you can't just press both heavy normals and do an install like the others. So it doesn't augment Nash at all. Instead, you have to hold a direction. So either back, forward, or down, and then press the heavy normals, and he will teleport. Mm-hmm. So he will teleport behind the opponent, in the air in front of the opponent, I think, and then in the air behind the opponent.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff that I've seen in the gameplay footage is absolutely sick. So it's used both to extend combos and for resets, and then as well as Oki. So it's so versatile. It's insane. It just makes Nash such a tricky character, and it's such a versatile thing. But the major downside to his V trigger is that once you activate it, it blows his entire V gauge. So you only get one teleport.
Yeah, it's a one-time thing, man. It's the most straightforward one out of all the characters. It does one thing and one thing only, but the uses for it are insane.
But apparently,
that teleport is fast, man.
Yeah, man, it's so hard to react to, and
it is
also his V gauge apparently builds the fastest.
Oh, different. They build a different amount.
Something like that. Like apparently,
you know
he builds
what?
his.
You know what? On his vying card, the statistic card.
Yeah.
It says for health or vitality or whatever it is, it's the lowest of the 4 characters.
Really? So he's
which implies that the reason it fills the fastest is because he has the lowest HP. And you know what I mean? So that probably is the reason why. So Nash gets blown up fast by damage. I'm sure he has lower health than Chun-Li. Just from that, statistic card.
Oh, that's kind of crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's got the lowest health of all the characters that they revealed so far.
I love it. He's so offensive based and so tricky with that. It's like kind of fits what I like because I used Viper in SF4, so it's kind of like similar to that.
Yeah. It's pretty cool, man. So we explained what you press, right? You press the mediums with him, and then you hold forward, up.
No, heavies with him, and then you hold down, back.
Heavies, sorry.
Yeah, down, back, or forward, and he'll teleport to a certain side.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. So we talked about all the characters, V triggers, V skills, V reversals. Let's just talk about the characters themselves now. 1 second here. Let me open up the move list. Let me try to find it here.
Just go to IGNs.
Okay, 1 second here. Oop. Oh, mic's in the way. Shit.
There, I got it.
I just found it. I think. Wikis. Move list. Here we go. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. So let's start with reuse move list.
It's really standard.
It's standard. People are pretty pissed off that he doesn't have his donkey kick. What do you think about that?
They could add it in later. Who knows?
They could. Yeah.
It seems like this is a game where donkey kick would be something he should get. So
you think so?
Yeah, honestly, I think so. I think he could use the donkey kick in this game.
Yeah. I guess there's really not much to talk about, Ryu. Well, I guess we forgot to mention Denjin, yeah. When Ryu does his super with V-trigger activated, like I said, every character's super does more damage when their V-trigger is activated, but when Ryu does it, he gets the Denjin. I don't know what the difference is. Maybe it causes more stun. Maybe it might guard crush the opponent on block. I don't remember. I don't think it does, though. But you can't charge it. But yeah, he does the Denjin. One thing I forgot to mention too with Ryu is that when he activates his V trigger, you can also charge his EX fireballs as well. But like I said, you cannot charge his super. Anything else you want to talk about the Ryu? It's pretty straightforward. Hey?
Yeah, pretty straightforward.
Let's talk about Chun-Li. Yeah, so like you were saying before, the move where she was in the air and she was doing the spinning whirl kick. It was like a sideways spinning bird kick. They took that out of the game. Now they allow her to do her lightning legs in the air, like a crossover fighting game. It's kind of strange, hey?
Yeah.
I don't know why they did that. Honestly, they should have just kept that.
I wish they kept it because she had such a cool combo follow-up because she could OTG right after.
Yeah. So I don't know why they did that. You can juggle after it, and it just looked cool when you did it after her super. So I don't know why they took that out. She has a lot of command normals in this game.
Yeah.
I wish they had that on the move list. She has like her Hienshu.
It's the flip kick thing? Yeah. Not the flip kick, but where she like flips behind the opponent.
No, not that move.
Oh, Hazanshu.
Yeah, Hazanshu. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's in there.
Yeah,
it's a
yeah,
command
it is.
It is in there. but it's not on the command list. So that means it's command normal. So what the hell? You know what I mean?
Command overhead.
Yeah, she must have a million of those. But she does have the flip move where she flips the other side.
Yeah, she has that too.
She has that.
I don't know if she has the flip anti-air kick.
Yeah. She also has an air throw.
Does she?
Yeah, I saw it. I saw footage of her doing an air throw. So we know that. Anything else you want to talk about Chun-Li?
I think she's probably the best character in the game right now. I know that's really early to say.
Just because we're V skill and
no, just not her normals are very similar to her third strike normals. They're really good. Like they look really fast, or not really fast, but they look fast. Look long range. Like her standing medium kick is like her forward medium kick in third strike. So it has like this really long range. So her pokes look insane.
Her fireball is still a charge.
Yeah,
but fireball is still a charge.
But because her lightning legs is a core circle motion instead of a mash motion, she can go crouch medium kick.
Dude, I forgot to mention that. Oh my god, dude.
Yeah,
You're
only
able
character.
to super cancel her lightning legs. Like, what the hell, man?
I know.
That's like the longest hit confirm in the world.
So, like...
It wasn't bad enough you could do medium into it, but you can do medium lightning legs and hit confirm it into her super. That's crazy.
Because people are like, oh, she can go crouch medium kick into super again. It's like, well, why bother when you could go crouch medium kick lightning legs and then confirm into super?
Exactly, man. And then we haven't even seen a combo. Like, it does so much damage already.
Yeah.
For the footage we've seen. But we haven't seen her jump cancel at the end and follow up with that.
I wonder if she can she still do that though?
Yeah, well,
I don't know if they kept that.
It looks exactly the same. Why wouldn't you? You know what I mean?
The other thing is, remember how in the original build she can go lightning legs and then link a crouch roundhouse afterwards. Is that still in it?
No.
Okay, they took that out.
Took it out. Yeah.
Okay, so but now I think people are at E3. Probably Ricky and Tokido and stuff. They're gonna be fishing for that crouch medium kick, and they go crouch medium kick legs.
Dude, I forgot about that. That's so annoying, man.
You're gonna start fishing for crouch medium kick legs.
Who the hell am I gonna use, man?
All they're gonna do is fish for that crouch medium kick legs because it's safe on block, or at least it looks safe on block. And then if it hits, you're eating super.
Yeah, man, that's crazy powerful.
And then as soon as that V skill is so good. For all those reasons I listed.
It's amazing.
Oh my god. And she's gonna build her V trigger so fast from it too.
Yeah.
And then when she activates that V trigger, you're gonna eat that chip damage up the yin yang. And if it hits, you're gonna eat so much damage into stun. Like I don't know how everyone's overlooking Chun-Li right now. I think she looks like the best character in the game right now.
Oh, easy. Okay. Yeah, she looks great. Let's talk about Nash.
My boy.
Okay, it says right here how to use his V trigger. It's forward, back, and down.
Yeah, that's what I said.
And they actually have words for it too.
Hide, blitz, air, steal, air.
Steal air is so stupid. Yeah, man. So Nash isn't a charge character.
I like that, which is why I'm using him.
After all this shit talk with Chun-Li. Yeah, so this is including his Sonic Boom. It is not a charge. It is a core circle forward punch. Sonic Scythe. Oh, I was right, man, on that theory.
Yeah.
Where he does that I call it like crescent kick or some shit. It's all the same move. So when he does the slice with the kick, he's got one where it hits low, mid, and his hard version is the anti-air, but apparently it's shitty. And then when he does the EX version of it, it's the Genocide Cutter. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy that my theory was right on that. Moonsault Slash, that's taken out of the crossover games. You could definitely follow up after an EX version. I don't know about a normal version, but it's done off the ground. Like
yeah, it doesn't look like it's air okay, so...
Yeah. Yeah, so not surprised about that. And then his other move, Tragedy Assault. This is DP with kick.
Yeah. That command grab hit thing.
Yeah, this move has got a unique thing to it that other characters don't have so far.
Yeah.
So when you do the normal version, it's the move. Yeah, it's the move where Nash grabs him by the head and he, pins him down and infuses him with energy.
Looks like it's an overhead too.
Really?
Yeah.
It drains the opponent's super meter, and then the EX version drains the super meter and gives him health. It's pretty nuts. There's nothing really like that.
That is pretty nuts. And then he can combo, he can V cancel right afterwards on the EX version and go for like this
that's
sick
cool.
combo.
And that's one thing to talk about too is that like before to activate V trigger, it was using your super meter, your entire super meter.
Yeah.
And I can totally see why Capcom changed that, because then you would have to decide whether to do EX moves or activate your save for your V trigger. And then at the same time, you know what I mean, you can start a round with a V trigger.
Yeah.
Because the EX bar would carry over. And then, yeah, you would lose a lot of combo potential too, because like with the way they have it now, you can use EX moves into your V trigger and V cancel. So I'm glad they have it that way. Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about Nash?
He's pretty sick.
Super looks pretty good too, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that super
Where he does
looks
that
so
fucking
sick.
fatality.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the only way you call it a fatality. Yeah, I thought it was Final Mission, but it's called Judgment Saber. My bad.
Yeah, his I love his V trigger, man. His V trigger is so sick, and the way people have been using it is just, it's so versatile.
You're just so over Nash's nuts, man.
Oh man,
It's unreal.
I'm
dude.
pretty pumped for it.
That's cool. Okay, Bison. Bison is a charge character. All of his moves are charges. Chun-Li, only her fireball is a charge, but for Bison, all of his moves are charges. So he's got a Psycho Blast, and his Psycho Inferno. Man, I was right about that too, on my breakdown about those both being charge moves.
Yeah.
So he loses his Psycho Crusher. What was that YouTube comment you're telling me about before?
Oh yeah, someone's like, oh, he doesn't have Psycho Crusher. GG's noob spammers.
Someone's gonna post that on that. There's that. Was that Twitter on scrub lines?
Scrub quotes.
Yeah, scrub quotes. That's perfect. Yeah, not having Psycho Crusher, not a big deal. He still has knee press. The thing about his knee press is that it doesn't knock down. Only the EX version. So what this is implying to me is that he's able to do a knee press and then V cancel that into a combo. Because he's on the ground.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he's going to be able to do some sick combos from that. Just assuming. I still have no idea. It looks like, remember the breakdown video, I had problems figuring out what that thing was when he did the EX Psycho Blast into the EX Head Stomp.
Yeah.
I guess that's kind of just like, it's enhanced when he has his V-Trigger activated. And it does that automatically, but we still don't have any word on that yet.
You were right on the crouch roundhouse, though.
Oh, yeah. His Bison Slide, it only knocks the opponent up for a juggle when it's on counter hit. I was right about that.
To get that range, you have to be at the very tip. So there's footage of people doing it at like closer ranges, and then they end up behind the opponent.
Yeah, he doesn't just stop in his tracks. So using it as a counter hit is very impractical. Maybe if they're about to throw a fireball or something, but it's hard.
I don't know, because they flip behind you. I'm pretty sure you could still retain a charge and combo afterwards.
I mean getting the counter hit in the first place.
Oh yeah. Very hard.
Like you're not gonna do a setup up close and attempt to do a slide right in front of him. You know what I mean? That'd be stupid. So yeah.
Says you. Someone's gonna do it.
At E3, no less, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. His super looks amazing.
Anti-air, man.
Yeah, it looks amazing, dude. I predicted in the footage too about it being used as anti-air, and of course, you can use it as an anti-air, and it's not a charge. Like all of his moves are charges except for his super. That's fucking crazy. Wait, is Chun-Li's a charge for her super?
No.
Oh, so I guess they don't have charged supers. Crazy.
At the moment.
But oh man. So yeah, Bison's super looks really strong just because of how reliable as an anti-air it looks. It looks like his entire body's a hitbox.
Basically, once Bison has full meter, don't jump.
Yeah. in all the footage, I don't see any Bison players really using Psycho Inferno that much, where he raises his hand up and the Psycho Flame comes out. I really want to know if that could be used as an anti-air, and I really want to know if he has a hitbox above him when he does it.
I think one of the
I
videos
do know
said,
it neutralizes fireballs though.
I think it was like the Eurogamer review or the hands-on one where they said that it has to be an anticipatory anti-air, like it's pretty slow.
Yeah, that makes sense. But I'm sure the EX version is fast though.
Doesn't the EX version shoot like 2 pillars? I thought I saw footage of that.
Oh,
I could
really?
be mistaken.
Oh,
I could be mistaken.
I didn't see that.
I thought someone was telling me that.
Really?
Could be wrong though.
Huh.
I don't know.
Huh. Yeah, I didn't see that. Anything else you want to talk about for the characters? Or in Street Fighter 5 in general?
I like how
Close
every character looks like they have some sort of OPBS going on with them. It makes them so like...
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It makes it so dynamic. I really hope though that they add more like V triggers, like different V triggers per character, like different variations per character. That'd be really cool. Give a lot more variety to matchups and per character, which would make up for a smaller cast size.
Yeah, like just the whole reception from this game, like from the first initial footage, everyone's like crazy low and pessimistic. And they're like, this game's not looking that good. But now after all this footage and stuff, everyone's just like, whoa, this game looks crazy, right?
Hype Overflow.
So hyped now. And that's awesome, man. So you're pretty excited to go to E3, hey?
Oh, yeah, man.
It's going to be a blast, man. So I guess we should close this out. We're at the 2-hour mark now.
Yep.
So this is a true podcast. If you guys have watched this video all the way up to this point, thanks a lot for listening, man. And I'm sorry that this video is so ghetto, but there's just no way I can take the time and get footage. I don't really feel like stealing footage and getting my channel flagged again. So we're gonna have to just make do with this. So yeah, me and Killy will be going to LA. We will be going to E3 next week. You guys might see us on the stream. And if you guys have any requests on things you guys want us to test out, obviously we'll be writing up a list of things. We're going to be trying to record as much footage as we possibly can, if they let us, and at least get all the normal attacks and special moves, EX versions of the special moves, target combos, command normals, everything for each character, and answer some very simple questions that we should know, but we don't. But anyways, yeah, leave me requests in the comments below, and I'll try to get to that as much as possible. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Take care.